What's going on, team? Proof here. Welcome to the last meta deck showcase for set 1. And the deck I'm showing today is Titan Ramp. And the idea behind this deck is to just, as the name implies, is to accelerate early on and to get into your big stuff, namely Titan Giant, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But this deck kind of completes the triangle of the meta, which was Bomitas control, which was the last video. Fire, water, sometimes light, aggressive decks, which I'm going to count the budget deck showcase that I did earlier on as the showcase for that, because the idea is similar. You're just going to just improve the budgetary deck to be able to fit what you need meta wise, so adding certain cards to it. And now we have Titan Ramp here. So I'm going to talk about the cards one by one, talk about how my build is different from the standard list because I don't have certain cards, and then we're going to go into some games. So first up, we have Fairy Life, which is 2 mana shield trigger, and then it puts the top card of your deck to the mana zone. So can't be called Titan Ramp without having ramp cards. So this is one of the important cards to have in your deck. Then we have 4 Aqua Hocus, which is a card we talked about very often, but it's 3 mana, 2000 power, and then it just, when it comes into play, draw a card. So very nice to help keep our hand options fluid until we get to our big stuff. And then later on in the game, it's just easy curve filler to put on the board and draw a card. They have 2 Power Fighter Magnus, which is a nice card to help finish the game off, and it's a speed attacker, so it doesn't have summoning sickness, so it can attack right away. It gets plus 1000 power while battling another creature, and then at the end of turn, bounce it back to hand, so it's good for dodge and removal options, and it's good for dodge being tapped down on the board while it's during your opponent's turn. Then we have 4 Bronze Arm Tribe. Just like Fairy Life, it puts the top card of your deck to the mana zone, except in this case we get a 1000 power creature to stick around as well. Then we have 2 Pekoten, just to help give us a nice draw option. It's very nice to have it post Fairy Life to go turn 2 Fairy Life, turn 3 Pekoten, and then go on from there. But only 2 because we need to make space for some of the more expensive cards that we're trying to ramp towards. Then we have 2 Cannon Shell. Another nice 4-drop to have post Fairy Life, so it kind of gives you that flexibility between advantage or power with him and Peko. But this one says it gets plus 1000 power while you for every shield you have. So it's a shield trigger creature, and then if you have 5 shields, he has 6000 power, which is nice against control decks because it's bigger than what they can handle early on, and it's nice against aggressive decks because it's also bigger than what they can handle, but you can attack into their other creatures as well. A nice surprise attacker too. We have 2 King Kale. It is a blocker, and then when it comes into play, return one of your opponent's creatures to your opponent's hand. So nice tempo option, and it leaves the blocker around, so it's nice for trading into opposing power fighters. 2 Magma Rex, shield trigger creature, and then when it comes into play, destroy all creatures that have 1000 power or less. So while it can destroy our own Bronze Arm tribes, its Bronze Arm is our only 1000 power creature in the deck, so it's very nice to have against opposing aggressive decks as a means to getting rid of their Kook Palans and things like that. 2 Searing Wave. Searing Wave says destroy all creatures with the power, or destroy all your opponent's creatures with the power of 3000 or less, and in exchange for that you have to take one of your shields and destroy it, so it goes straight to the graveyard, so no activating shield trigger, nothing like that. But it's nice to have as an option against opposing aggressive decks as a way to just nuke their board and maintain tempo on our side. If this card can hit at least 2 creatures, it's good because you trade 1 shield for 2 creatures, which could potentially break 2 shields as opposed to 1. So that's where you try to get the trade-off. And then beyond that is just pure value. 2 Tornado Flame as a shield trigger, destroy a creature with the power of 4000 or less. Very nice to see it come down and get rid of something like Bakari or just have it in hand and get rid of a Bakari as well. Tried and True 4 Aqua Surfer, which is a card you should know and love if you're playing Duel Masters by now. Or if you're interested, just something you want to look out for. Shield trigger creature, when it comes into play, return one of your opponent's creatures back to their hand. So the ultimate tempo tool early on for us, because it gives us a creature that can attack into our opponent's shields and removes one of theirs, so that way we won't have to worry about it for the duration of the turn. We got 2 Crystal Lancer, which evolves on top of Liquid People, which are Aqua Hocus and Aqua Surfer. Double Breaker, it can't be blocked. So very important as a means to getting rid of or getting over top of blocker decks in the late game. Is also its 8,000 power is very nice to have against trading into something like Bomedius, for example, especially after your opponent taps it down. Or sorry, after your opponent taps Bomedius to attack, you can surprise them by playing Crystal Lancer and then attacking it without having them being able to interact with it. We have 2-fighter Duel Fang, which evolves on top of Beast Folk, which is our Bronze Arm tribe early on. And then when it comes into play, put the top 2 cards of your deck into the mana zone. So it accelerates us and it gets to our big mana spike to be able to just accelerate our mana to play a lot of stuff later on in the game and make a lot of combo turns as well. But 8,000 power, just like Lancer, is a nice beefy body to have to deal with. The star of the show, which is Titan Giant, 7 mana, 7,000 power double breaker, and he says when he comes into play, put the top 2 cards of your deck into the mana zone and then take 2 creatures or search your mana zone for 2 creatures and return them back to hand. So this is great against control. They have really few answers from Titan Giants in that it leaves around a 7,000 power body, which is scary, but it also draws us 2 cards to put into our hand for them to deal with. So very important tempo card, which is why it's the key to the deck. And an important thing to note is that the mana goes in untapped. So if say I'm on 9 mana and I play Titan Giant, I'm gonna have 2 left remaining initially, but then once Titan resolves, I'm gonna have 4 mana to use, which lets me play Hulkus, Bronze Arm Tribe, Pekoton, Cannon Shells, things like that. So that's why it's a huge tempo tool and a huge swing, which is why you might see a lot of Titan Giants roaming the earth. And last but not least, we have Aqua Sniper, and he's just when it comes to play, choose 2 of your opponent's creatures and return them back to hand, and he's a double breaker. So nice little curve topper for us at 8 mana. Tempo tool against most decks just because it can remove 2 threats temporarily and stick around, and then it might give us enough breathing room to win the game soon thereafter. The reason my deck is different is because typically you're going to see cards like Twin Cannon and Sky Terror in here, which is a 7 mana double breaker speed attacker, but I don't own any, so I had to make modifications to suit the deck, which is what led me towards Crystal Lancer and Aqua Sniper, which are options, but it's like you're either going to play Twin Cannon or you're going to play some combination of Lancer and Duel Fang, or Duel Fang is pretty key in the deck, but Lancer is usually where like the ties kind of turn. So made my adjustments, we'll see how they work out, and yeah, hope you enjoy the games. All right, we are going first. Let's see what our opening hand is going to be like. Double Fairy Life into Titan Giant. So we'll see what our opponent's playing, see if we can hold on to this Titan Giant or not. But since the second or subsequent Titan Giants can have a chance of getting the other ones, it's usually nice to keep it around. I could put that to mana and play that, but I kind of want to put this to mana, play this, and then next turn play the second one. Okay. Because the faster we get to 7 mana, the faster we can start drawing into our good stuff. That's pretty good. I want to put this to mana in case this grabs us water mana, and then I can play this right behind it. Because the mana goes in untapped as well. Ah, not like this. I'll play this and break a shield though. The best thing for me to get would be a water card, because then I can play Hulkus with Pyro Fighter in the same turn. If I don't get a water card, then I might just put Hulkus in the mana and then play the Pyro Fighter. Hopefully we find another Titan in a couple turns. Nah. But this is good to keep around for mono water, which is what this is looking like so far. Let's see if they're gonna start breaking our shields though, because they know about the pyro fighter sticking around. Interesting. It just happened. Seemed like they had like a slow hand early on. Okay. What we got? Sniper. Can't play it. Surfer. Them playing light is spooky because it makes me want to keep breaking shields to get so that way they don't have last shield holy eye, which can swing the tide in them to win. I'm gonna hold on to the aqua sniper. Next turn they're probably gonna play their own Titan Giant. It was tough. I thought about attacking the Aqua Hocus there. I suspect them to play Mana and then play Titan Giant here. Oh, they evolved. So they're gonna have 3 mana left over for something. Second Holy Eye. So seeing something like Magma Rex would be good off top. What we got? What's in the box? Nothing. Do that. Play this. Bounce those two. Things started out really good, now they got really spooky. This into Alcadius. Do they have unicorn fish? Oh, interesting. Dual Fang, but nothing to play with it. Deploy. Hopefully I don't remove a shield trigger. Okay. I'm gonna hit the set shield because I gotta deal with it anyway at some point. Yeah, looks like they set Holy Eye down or something. Or something just to help them survive. Like kind of like they wanted to play just to give me an additional shield to break, not necessarily put a trigger down. That's the benefit of playing fire sometimes, is that they may not have the speed that I do in Pyro Fighter. I can play another blocker behind it. Oh geez. So Looks like they set Holy Ah down. Unfortunately, they have the means to play Pakari into Alcadius the following turn. Well, I do have an out. Well, not really, because if they set Holy Ah, it's going to tap me down anyway. I was going to say that I could play mana and then try to get King Kale off top, but if they have any removal trigger, or actually it has to be exactly Holy Ah, which I suspect them to have. But just in case it's not. There it is. Alright. We lost this one. I'll play it out. You don't know what they're gonna do. So, had a slowish start, unfortunately. Well, not slowish. We had a fast opener, but we didn't have the cards later on to follow that up with. We kind of just drew dead in the middle of the game there, and all our good stuff was stuck in the shields. But that's okay. On to the next one. All right, let's see what we got. We're going first again. We're going first a lot lately. Let's keep that up. Let's keep that going. Now you might be asking why I don't have a playmat myself or sleeves or anything like that. That's because I usually make decks in the screen where you challenge or you do like you can build decks in the actual screen where you play ranked and casual mode, but in those screens you can't assign a playmat or sleeves to your deck. You have to go to the deck building mode to do it. So sometimes I might make it over there, sometimes I don't. Ooh. I really want to keep this, but the acceleration is juicy right now because I can go turn 2 this, turn 3 this. Alright. Begrudgingly, I'll give it up. But I'm a ramp deck. You gotta use the ramp sometimes. The only time you probably won't use early ramp is against control decks because they can have discard to ruin your plan. So you out-ramp them anyway. So in the early game, you may not necessarily want to go turn 2 ramp, turn 3 ramp. Ho ho! I have a chance at a mythical turn 4 Titan, but I have to top deck it. We'll do it. All right, if a Titan doesn't go to mana, all right, we're in a good shape here. The gods of Ramped have blessed us with a chance at a turn 4 Titan for the video. What's in the box? Ah, one off. Darn, I can't believe. Well, hold on to that sniper real quick though. So unfortunately, no turn 4 Titan in this video. Bonk that. Opponent's playing a more aggressive leaning deck. They have a beast folk focus, so we'll see if they oh, tricolor. Don't need you. I'm gonna play it. So I can still play it even though if they have one, but if they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to choose 2. If they have 2, I have to it's still a tempo drop for us. The best card is still Titan Giant because next turn I can play Titan, have 3 mana left over, and then play Pyro Fighter after that. So you can think of Titan Giant costing 5 mana instead of 7 because the 2 go in untapped. So you kind of just, to know how much mana you're going to have left over, is to just subtract your current mana by 5. Ooh, Vrima. Nah, can't use it, unfortunately. So if this was Twin Cannon here, then you can see where it would have been nice to have it. Because then I could just plopped it down and then still had a chance for game here. But then I would have left around a 7,000 power body. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to attack with this first. Because then if it's Aqua Surfer, they'll bounce this. And then, man, don't want to do that. That seems too cheeky. Whatever, just get in there. Sometimes there is merit to breaking with the singular attacker first. Torcon. So what Vrima does here says when it and another creature, or when another creature comes into play, give all your beast folk plus 2,000 power and double breaker until the end of turn. So what they're probably going to do is play this and then evolve into Bark Whip. And then they get the double Vrima buff, and it's enough to kill my field off. Yep. I just need a card in hand, and then I need what's up, Titan? So it can put Pyro Fighter in, and we can grab that. Or if we can get Hulkus back, that'd be good. How do we not get a singular Hulkus? That's sometimes the downside of the Titan, is that you are holding to RNG. These would be the best too. So there's a good chance we may have lost here. Both tornadoes are down. Ho 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 ho! Sweet victory. Bounce that, so now you can't break my last 2 shields and then finish the game. What's up, Kale boy? The squeaker. Ooh, that was close. We've been running into some rough middle spots after our, like, we have aggressive ramp early on, but then after that we kind of get stuck in the middle there. So that's usually seems to be because either I think some deck building choices should be changed in the future, which is something you can decide for yourself, or just the lack of Twin Cannon, because Twin Cannon there would have been pretty much an instant win because I definitely would have broken first with Bronze Arm Tribe if I had Twin Cannon down, because then after that I'd have been playing around just a removal trigger based like Tornado Flame, and then since they had Tornado Flame, then Twin Cannon and Aqua Sniper would have been too big for it to remove, and then I could have won the game on the spot there. But that's okay. The Power Fighters have been doing well. They've been pretty much the MVPs so far, because they're the ones that have been showing up on time. Let's see what we got. So if I draw a nature card, we'll be in a good spot, because I can go turn 2 this into turn 3 this. Blank. Even still, acceleration by turn 3 is nice. So it looks like they're playing oh geez. Unfortunate. So it looks like they're playing some type of evolution deck. Innocent Hunter here says it counts as evolution. It has like every race in his name basically, so you can evolve anything on top of it. Usually you see that with Alcadius as like a non-Bakari bait for it, so you don't lose the blocker in the process. Speaking of, finally. Actually, I'd rather get this down. If I can draw in like Aqua Surfer or something. Alright, you seem fairly useless. Just pump it up. And then maybe I'll get Titan next turn. Oh wow. They've seen all 4 of their Pakaris in like the first half of their deck. And not in their shields either. A lot of ramp decks play Scarlet Skytear or Crystal Paladin as a way to remove blocker walls. I chose not to do it for this deck because normally I don't run into, or I either don't run into such heavy blocker decks, or the rest of my deck surrounding my ramp usually just bullies blocker walls. But that's something you can consider for your deck as well. You're not going to be useful this game, it looks like. I'm just trying to get to an Aqua Hocus who's been avoiding me for most of this run. I think that's her second Aqua Surfer down. Probably gonna get an Innocent Hunter back. I feel like I'm gonna play this and then Titan's gonna go right to the mana zone. I just don't want to do nothing. At least this opens us up. Okay, that's good. Goodbye, field. What we got? Actually showed up. They probably already have Alcadius in their hand, but not much we can do about that. Let's see. I wanted the Aqua Sniper, or the Surfer. Sometimes you don't get what you want off a Titan Giant, but it's still a nice advantage piece. Oh, cool. I got that as a backup. So, ouch. This looking like a nice loss. That's unfortunate. This deck has been doing well for me. Just kind of run into a rough patch in this series of games. Out of spite. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to win this game. If I had Crystal Paladin instead of Crystal Lancer, then I could delay it, because then I could have removed all his blockers and then hit that. But unfortunately, nothing I can do. So we want to scoop it up, scoop it in. That's unfortunate. So not the showcase I hoped, but hopefully you got an idea of how the deck functions and how certain card choices that you would probably make or changes you would make would improve the deck in your preferred play style. But that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this little mini showcase of the top meta decks from set 1. And yeah, I look forward to give you more videos in set 2 when it comes out in a couple of days. So that'll do it for me, and until the next one, peace, be easy.